So once we've been out to the house, we've gone over the product, you're ready to commit to purchasing a new roof with us, or gutters or anything of that sort. Um, we get you signed up. So we don't take any money down. We go over the contract. You basically discuss exactly what we're going to put on your roof. You tell me what color you want, what color drip edge you want, and that's pretty much it. We put that information on that proposal. We both sign and date that proposal, and then it's booked. It's booked for the time frame that you want. So if you want to be in the spring or the summer or the fall, and then we work it in that time frame. We don't know exact dates from the day we book because weather is going to change everything, and we just work every day that the weather's good. So we don't give exact dates, but if you said, hey, I need this done the first week of June, then we're going to schedule that for the first week of June. And I can typically only schedule maybe 8 to 10 roofs the first week of June. So we start getting to where we have 10, 12 people that want the first week of June, then we would have to shut that down. So we might move it to the second week of June. But bottom line is we don't ever have that happen. Most people are very flexible on when it gets done. They just want it done in warm weather, and they want it done right. And that's what we're going to do, is do it in warm weather and do it right. No need to risk it when you don't have to. Obviously, if it's snow and icing and it has to be done and you need it, we're there to do it as well. But when you're being able to choose when to get the roof, that's what you want to do, is put it down when it's warm. But once you sign that work, once we've actually got it booked and we've got you scheduled, time's coming close. Usually within about 2 weeks of us doing the roof, we'll call and touch base, say, hey, we're planning on doing it this week of X, day. Once we have that date set, it's going to happen within that couple of days of that. So sometimes it can happen a little sooner, sometimes it happen a little later, but at least we give you a target. We go out, we basically set up our dumpster the day of the roof. We don't like to do it the day before, so you're not messing with parking and stuff like that, because some parts of Champaign-Urbana definitely have parking issues. So we'll set the dumpster the day of, we'll drop material the day of. We don't like to leave material for weeks. I mean, I know when the hailstorm hits, I'd drive by houses that have, bunks of shingles and plywood and all this in driveways. And the thing is, they're not getting roofed for 2-3 months. So you got people driving around stuff. You got materials coming up missing. We don't do any of that. We keep everything in a warehouse, so that way it's nice and dry when it gets out there. It's not weathered already. We stage those materials. The roofing crews show up. We got usually 2 roofing crews running. They've been with us over 14 years, 15 years. They have more than probably 40 years, 45 years combined. So about 20 to 25 each in each crew worth of experience. Rodger's got about 20, 25 years worth of roofing experience, and almost 40 years in general construction. So he's been around the block when it comes to knowing how stuff has to happen, knowing the laws, being in the area, so we're reputable. I mean, people are familiar. We have a brick and mortar building. We're not a website company or anything like that. So once that roof's getting done, usually happens within a day or two. Myself, being a project manager, or Jeff Ray might come out to the job a few times just to make sure things are going smooth, or if we have to bring extra products, or if there's a change that a customer wants, or if the guys need something. We're there to handle any of the customer's needs. So we're the point of contact for that customer at any part of that process. So once that's complete, guys are gone. They do a good cleanup. There might be some residual materials left in the driveway or staged area. Those materials we do push out extras when we send a job. I mean, we keep everything in stock. So when we push those extras out, it's not like the customer pays for those. I get a lot of questions sometimes. They're like, hey, well, I want to keep the remainders, I don't want it to go to waste. It's like, well, we're not charging you for that, okay? We charge every customer for the exact amount of work that they need. We just send extra material, because if you open a bundle of shingles and out of 15 shingles, you got one that's kind of damaged on the edge, well, we don't want to use that shingle. We're going to toss that shingle. We're going to grab a fresh one. So we bring extra material for that reason. And then there's been cases where we were just a little short because there's a bunch of different valleys or different cuts that used up a lot of material. We just don't want to have to waste time and wait on material. Those guys want to get that job in that one day, so we're going to make sure we have extra material there. But that material, once the job's done, it's going to get picked up. It's going to get returned back to our shop. They'll run a magnet, clean up around your house. From there, you should expect to hear from your salesman. within a few days with an invoice, and then they'll bring that to you, go over the roof with you, make sure everything's good and you're satisfied with it, and that's when we settle up. So up front, nothing you got to do. You don't have to go borrow money out of a bank and go come up with all the money. Like if you know you want to plan this out, you know you're gonna have the funds at a certain date, you can always plan your roof, get it signed up. Most companies require half down, so that's kind of a tough thing when you want to plan something for something you know you're going to have money later on. No need for that. You can plan with us, still get a good date to get that work done, and not wait till the day that you need it and then turn around and plan it, and then you're waiting 6 more months to get a roof installed. So that helps quite a bit. One other thing too that we have to help with that as well is financing. So whether you're doing gutter, siding, roofing, any exterior products with us, we can finance any of that. So if you're putting, you have enough to do half of a roof, well, you can finance the rest and get it done today and not have to worry about saving up money, let the roof decay, let more leaks happen, get it done sooner than later. We can do that on the spot. It's done off of a computer. So within 5 to 10 minutes, we typically have an answer. It's pretty simple. It's not a very invasive credit app. The credit is attached to the home as well. So anytime you finance something for a home, whether you're doing a refi or you're doing a credit against your mortgage, or you're doing a financing through a bank or a lender that's on a home, they'll tie that to the home. So they know that material is going to be stuck there. So it's just a different loan process. It's not like a car or something where it's mobile. It's not like an electronic that can be just moved around. Pretty simple system. We put your information in there. You give us some little details about your work and income, and we run that through the credit. And once it's approved, we can set that for anywhere from 24 months all the way out to 10 years. Average, I would say, would be 10 years. I mean, perfect example would be a customer I had do a roof that was about $15,000. They wanted to finance it mainly because they did have some money. They just want to hold on to it because of the economy. The payment's going to be low. So on the $15,000, I think they were like $140, $150 a month. So not too much when it comes to the monthly cost per se, but for 10 years that can add up. So overall, when you start paying that amount of money, you might pay $4,000, $3,000 in interest over that time. But again, in 10 years, the value of that home will go up that same amount, if not more, typically. So if you were to hold off that 10 years and the roof ruined the house, then it's going to go down in value. So really makes no sense to wait. If you can do it and you have the means to do it, financing is a great option. It gets the roof done today. Your value of your home is going to go up right away, and therefore any interest you do pay will kind of get absorbed with the cost of the home. But finance is not for everybody. So if you do want to pay cash check, we accept both of those payments as well. If you have your own lender, we accept checks from banks, whatever works for you. But we like to offer multiple ways to pay for a roof. And we can do partials with that as well. There's a lot of times we run into a full roof, and the biggest concern for customer is they know they have underlayment issues. They might have plywood that's going to have to be replaced. And if you get into a big job where it's $4,000 or $5,000 and you just budgeted for a roof and you don't have the $4,000 or $5,000, you don't want to put that on a credit card that's 20% a month or 30% a month. You can do it on a 9.9%, loan for exterior products through GF. It's not the lowest interest, but the cheapest you're really going to get without a incentivized credit card is around 6 to 8. And right now, market-wise, it's closer to 8. So 9.9 is pretty good for the type of approval it is. I've had interest rates that are approved at 6% and 4%. That's all based off of credit, and it's all based off of term. So depending on how much you're putting down and how much term you're going will determine how much the payments will be, and also how much your interest.